This is Sam Storm.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Vitoverse Reviews. Week 2, we are here, Secret Invasions. Last week was my first review on this and kind of like my second review in general. So I'm still learning, you know what I mean? So bear with me if you're new. Definitely check out that first episode if you're new, or, you know, that first video and episode. Yeah, go ahead and watch, Secret Invasions. It's starting to be a little interesting. It gives us a little backstory on the scrolls and stuff. So but yeah, so let's get into today's episode. So shout out to Jay from Winging It Podcast. On Sunday he does a segment called Fresh Take with Vicky the Fangirl, and one thing that they both said was last week's episode, there were points where it was kind of boring, you know what I mean? And I agree. I just didn't want to say that, my first review on it, you know what I mean? But to be honest, all honesty, yeah, there were some points that they didn't need, you know what I mean? There was some stuff they could have cut out, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to say this episode was the same way, but it was the same way as far as being boring. There were some points where my attention was elsewhere, but of course I caught the gist of what I needed to catch. Plus I need to watch it again. I think I can sit through it again. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad episode. It was good. We started getting some information and insight. It starts off with a recap of Captain Marvel, then it goes into a flashback. So if you haven't watched Captain Marvel, that's why I said on the first one, go back and watch that. It's going to give you a little more insight of why we're even here in the first place. So it goes into a flashback of how Nick Fury made an agreement and an alliance with the Skrulls. Come to find out, there was a boy that parents had got killed by the Kree, or during that war, or whatever the situation happened with Captain Marvel. His parents got killed, and that boy is the leader of the rebellion. And so Gaia, I didn't say it last week because I totally forgot her name. That's Talos' daughter. Gaia, her running away, it wasn't just to some random Skrulls or something like that. It was actually, she was running away with somebody she grew up with. You know what I mean? So now that's starting to make a little more sense. You know what I mean? So the whole bombing was blamed on America. Nick Fury is one of the faces of that person of interest. We find ourselves on a train with some soldiers trying to find Nick. They avoid that, you know what I mean? Talos and Nick, they avoid, being caught or whatever. So they're on the train ride. Talos drops a bombshell on us. Well, he wasn't, he just didn't do it willingly. Nick kind of, got it out of him. He dropped a bombshell on us, which was crazy, which is instead of the Skrulls being scattered all over the galaxy or all over the universe or whatever, all of them during the snap, all of the Skrulls came to Earth. So now there's like millions of Skrulls on Earth, and that's a big danger, you know what I mean? So if there is a rebellion going on, you will never know who is a Skrull, who's not, you know what I mean? So, and you don't know who's actually really missing. The real person could be missing, you know what I mean? So that by itself was kind of creepy. So I guess that's giving us the Secret Invasion, you know what I mean? So then it goes into Nick Fury meeting up with what is Don Cheetah's Rhodey, meeting up with Rhodey. They have a discussion. Rhodey is telling Nick, hey, we're in hot water and you're the face of it, you know what I mean? You're probably starting World War III and you're the face of it, you know what I mean? So Nick is trying to tell him, nah, man, let me handle this. He's trying to be his big boss, Nick Fury, like normal, you know what I mean? But actually Rhodey is actually sent to actually fire Nick. So Nick got fired over this whole situation. So on the last episode, there was a woman that Nick met up with a British woman, and I guess she's like some kind of spy too, or whatever she is or whatever. We go to a scene of her, I guess, knowing where some scrolls are or something like that, or they're doing some kind of interrogation. It's like some kind of secret underworld type thing. So they have a scroll that's part of this rebellion that did the bombing. They have him in captivity. So one of them got picked up by the police, and the other got picked up by this group of individuals. You know what I mean? So she comes in, she's like, all right, enough, and gets the guys out of there. And so she starts to do her own interrogation, cuts off the dude's finger, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? Some real kind of, like some crucial stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know if we actually established this before we got into this series, but this might be a rated R series, or at least PG-13 at least. You know what I mean? So I don't think we actually got into that, because it's like, man, some of the stuff they're doing on here, like, it's like, oh snap. But we cut over to the boss of the rebellion or whatever, the boy, right after the bombing or whatever. He's gone. So I guess all this stuff is happening kind of like either right at the same time or kind of like hours after each other. So they're just picking up on everybody's character, where they're going. So the rebellion leader meets up with some group of individuals at this house or whatever. Come to find out, this is where the big time uprising happened. So again, I don't want to give all these spoilers away right now. I just kind of want to, just kind of glance over them. So long story short, he becomes the official leader of all the scrolls or something like that, and he's starting this rebellion. So who was the leader before? I think it was Talos, but of course he's been missing, or he's been trying to take down this rebellion that's been going on. So some very interesting stuff, man. This backstory is starting to get a little more interesting. It's starting, the pace is very slow, you know what I mean? So then we get to I think that I'm just gonna wrap it up, you know what I'm saying? But we get to the end, and there's a scroll woman, and I believe it's the scroll woman that brought in the young man in that flashback. And she's in there like cooking up some, like she's chefing up something, you know what I mean? So Nick Fury actually comes to the house. So when he comes to the house, he has a key, and he opened the door up, walks in all casual, she in there, cooking or whatever, and he just goes in and is like kind of like looking around and stuff, and he hits the corner, and then the scroll transforms into her human form. It's a black lady, and she's like, did you forget something? And then I was like, oh, so she knows him. All right, so this ain't no break-in. So this is probably one of them spy little situations. He's probably gonna, hey, all right, cool, let me put my gun down or something like that. Goes into this living room, picks up something, comes back with whatever in his hand, picks up his hand, slides this wedding band on, it says, is that better? And they start making out. That right there was the mic drop. I was like, oh, wait, huh? I was like, he married to that? I was like, does he know? So many questions. Does he know she a scroll? Is it? Like, what the heck is going on? Like, already, like, from the first episode, though, I had a theory that Nick Fury might even be a scroll. You know what I mean? That the real Nick Fury is actually still on Saber. So, this made me, pick that whole little thought process back up. Like, first I was just calmed down from like, nah, that's really Nick. Then this happened. I was like, oh snap, that's crazy. He married that's insane. So they ended it on a little mic drop, a little cliffhanger. So definitely, man. Hopefully next week the action picks up. Again, like I said, this review, I just want to kind of just glance over some of these major points that were standing out. And actually, I probably went out of order on how they happened, but still, regardless, they happened. So go ahead and watch the episode if you haven't. Leave a comment in the comment section. You know, what did you think about the episode? What do you think about the series so far? Do you agree with, you know, it's starting off a little boring and it's going to pick up? You know, what do you feel what's going on with Nick? Like, do you feel that's a scroll, or do you feel that, you know what I'm saying, like, that's really Nick? It's just some crazy stuff is going on and we need more answers, you know what I mean? So leave all that stuff down in the comment section. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing, all the new subscribers and new people that has watched any of my videos. Thank you. Please feel free to comment, subscribe, and share. You know what I mean? When you comment and share, or comment and subscribe, you're entering yourself into our $100 raffle that we are aiming for our 100 subscriber mark. So if you're interested, hey man, you know what to do. Also, on top of that, share so we can, you know, get that raffle going. I really want to get that 100 out to you. So